Moving out here is probably the most irrational decision we ever took in our life. But now, looking back, it's amazing to see how one intuitive decision led to another. We never set out to make a film. We just felt like breaking away. And not that our life wasn't good. We had everything we ever wanted, and more. But that was kind of the problem. I felt I was buying into a system that tells us that more is better. I felt I was plodding along with everyone else, as if in a state of hypnosis.
What changed me and my thinking was becoming a mother. I asked myself, what is it that I'm trying to achieve? What do I contribute to the world they grow up in? I knew I had to break the pattern. I didn't just want to exchange the city life for a life close to nature. But I wanted to learn from people who live a connected life, a life more down to earth. I loved our years in the woods, the simple, uncomplicated life, living a day at a time and living with the seasons. At the time we had no idea that our move to the woods was only the start of a much bigger journey.
Journey, man.
In the 4 years we lived in the woods, we learned so much from the Native American way of life. But what inspired us most was the way of thinking, the way of being of some of the elders. Especially Nuwa. Meeting this medicine man had a profound impact on us. He triggered something in us, a longing to explore the ancient ways of looking at life, and gaining a deeper understanding of the old teachings, which seem now more relevant than ever. It was meeting Nuwa that inspired us to go on a journey to find people like him. People who have held on to a connection with the natural world. Wisdom keepers, who might hold the key to renewal. We decided to travel the world together with our children, to find these keepers of wisdom, the keepers of the earth.
Concerned about all human life. I find it sad for humans have not known who they really are. And that's why I call it the illusion. But this is a changing of times. It has been said that the people will start to arise and go against all the things that has been said and done starting that change. We had a beautiful way at one time, how we viewed the world and all of the creation with it, because you know that we talk about creation. What is it we don't like about creation? Because we're all things of creation as humans. Somewhere along the way, I think the original teachings got lost among all people. I woke up from a dream this morning. I went to a place, it was a run-down building. It reminded me of an old army barracks somewhere. Long rooms upstairs, floors were sunk from age. Anyway, many medicine people were arriving at the same place. I decided I would go up them stairs because of the medicine people coming there to help. It seemed so real that it was actually happening. That I went upstairs and started looking around to see what needed to be done. The floor was covered with litter. So I started looking for brooms to start cleaning up. That dream was telling me that those medicine people are willing to start helping all over. Now they're all emergent.
January 21st. We are on our way, on the road for a year. One backpack and a camera each. It's exciting, but the first month has not been easy. Nothing has worked out to plan. And despite the months of research, we are not getting to the right people. We feel we have wasted a lot of time. And on top of that, we've all been really sick. Levi is still refusing to eat after 2 weeks. I worry. Is this really all worth it? We wonder, have we been too optimistic that we could pull this off by ourselves as a family? Without any crew or support?
Levi, kom.
Kom maar.
We knew that finding Earthkeepers wouldn't be easy. But I think we've been trying too hard, trying to follow a plan. I know we have to let go and stop worrying about the outcome. We simply have to follow the stories and trust we will find the people we are looking for. Our only obstacle is our own worry and fear. It's these little voices coming in. What if we don't find these people? And what if it doesn't work out? I wonder if these tribal communities have the same problem of fear.
And how do you see that the absence of fear is related to your people being content, being happy.
Pagi siapa yog masai, yog tenda bega na menyala na bega na menyola na bega na menyola no so dua kia da yog. Na wo so du shu di shibni da yog masai. Muna bonara na yoga yo kopmu paga lo abete paga kwa pevogi paga na bolongo na go so do shi di shibde yo mo so ga ya
Your way of life seems all centered around community. Our world is much more based on the individual, which is also what has brought us progress. How do you view this progress?
dari na do siasa na do kare ba baisho ma do ri gari de ngam ko pe bo ke ko do ra ju ba mi se wa ma do na ku yo ga gele ni da ko la mo ka ga do na ba ka di shipe tangara ke do de wa yi da wa le gai la wo lo sha go bo ke o de guapi to ni mo Nedi viaje era como un barro un elemento europeo, porque yo lo europeo da ni nyingi. Am barro un elemento europeo na paga pelo tu da dunia. Ta anaiba. Angai le menja. Na do na bati yang kardasi ashu enani pot. Na yawini ora doga na mbwabi baba ora doga biligi na taraba na mbwabi ndaro na gulo yore na rayol do majita ta bandoro ma ta yore yole ko ko bandoro ane kuna ya da ane kuna mbwabi shibe kuna ria na nani na do na be una rin gwabi benda ambi do ga no ri ya na ra do ma do ra do ma do lo re ka gweni na gar na ndo so karti sisto ore posho ga na za uja ja suma te mo do na sumen da o ruol to men na hingi.
You know, I remember things in my childhood days. To me, what became great teachings from my dad, my mother, Simple little things that some people would not even consider as something great. Learning to live with the seasons and what those seasons produce. Sometimes there's an abundance with the seasons, and other times not. You simply learn to live with what is provided. And living within that framework is a simple life of taking only with what you need.
It was giving thanks to that water. So when we give thanks to the water, we give thanks to ourselves because we're people of water. And it's a part of showing respect for creation.
Maga way drag it. They do wear na pesh. They do an night one. Was an apple a day. Now won't go very show. Now get back. Now we go now in that other. And you never believe. Kai Western, the Lord was sent now. Whatever matter, I did not go with this year. I don't know what I do. That all I just now what it name needing a little jump party, needing also like the embassy also. The league, the yard, at the ship and
Kayur bulda siya menena karay biola jenenya apa kiru bulda siyo ke jetoi nemina engiyo enero digano leng dina aisida yo leng amore pejeng mikintoki enkolong anya nidolta sentim ajo aisidai nitii ntokitin ameti ana nena motonyi nitii ana ng'uesi nitii ana lelo koroin neeku idol entim ajo aisidai tenijing atua. Kenyor enkoshoke ore nai oltung'ani opong'a piikata enkiti naa kenyor ore peisho entomononi neojuni ake aoju ena bibi enye ishi nilang'ilang'i eilata paa kepiki esili eilata paa kishori metooko naa kenyor neeku naa kenyor enkoshoke.
Pero murum sentar mosorlak ene jing. Kayak ada yang ko andar tan dombra. Nani gidella beru marol ligi. Ora shomoro ni. Nasha and Malanga Jabel Mandaiki Imbaso. The Jedu Bay, a shady way the house of the Paris Manday, and wash a Motoni, and you be like woman and younger Jabel Manday.
Who speaks for those birds and animals in the trees? They have the same rights we do. They are part of creation. Mankind has messed up everything. And how much more longer is it going to go before man will finally admit that we're the cause of all the troubles of the world? I used to hear them old people long ago when I was a child. They used to talk about how high is up. How high can things go? Where does it stop? What's left for it to go? Once it peaks, it can't go no further. It starts to come down.
わかるけど、うちも欲しいのはわかるけれど、やはりそのいいものを切りたい、食べたい、いい車欲しい、いい家が欲しいということがね、やっぱりこの地球破壊に一番関わっていることで、やはり最もこれは間違って今はみんな暮らしてると思う。この国もやはりそうだと思うんだけど、今のその人間社会の中で自分だけがというそこに仕事があってのんびりお金がなんとかなるという考えで目標に向かって見てないと思うからそういう見えると思う。
People don't have patience in the city. There's no patience. I see a lot of people running on time. The time is very important for people that are running. Where you have to go to work, you have to run. come back home, you have to run. It's a city of people running. Don't have to run there. Take your time. We're more laid-back people, you know. We don't run. No, why should we run? But there's nothing to run. It is there. We'll get there.
I know why these words of Balganyu resonated so much with me. Because she was really talking about me. When we moved to the woods, it took me a long time before I really slowed down and was truly grounded. But it's not the answer for all of us to go back and live in nature. I think the real challenge is, how do we live a connected life in our fast-paced world? Meeting these urban earthkeepers made us see that it is possible, even in an urban landscape.
The land is everything to me, how I've been brought up. I carry that within me. I feel like I'm a mother imitating Mother Earth on the stage. Every day she's creating. She's making new hills or fountains or small things like grass. That is something so special. Everywhere I go, I feel that energy because I am the land. We come from Northern Territory in the north coast, where people call Arnhem Land. We call it Yirkala, and that's where I was born. We had beautiful parents, not only loving us, but sharing the knowledge and teaching the knowledge of survival, to be aware what's around the land, where not to go there or to go there, not to eat, not to swim.
April 27. We are now on our way to a remote island off the north coast. We have heard a story about Lak Lak, an Aboriginal medicine woman who has dedicated her life to raising troubled kids in the old ways. We are excited to be allowed into the island, which is normally sealed off to outsiders. Lak Lak apparently made the exception when she heard we are a family traveling with children. The gatekeepers were strict about the conditions of the visit. 2 nights only, bring your own food and shelter, and no filming. But when we arrived on the island, things turned out quite differently.
Ngaya kanya ko jangot poli, ya pak mingunya ko family, ngana pa nyena jenal. Yul ngwara maringa, ya urik maringa, ngana pa jakatal ko kinal ngaya nga. Locu dong ngayi, ngaya kanyena jenal. Pili ngaya wanga education department ko pili dal need school education jinang jamar kole yo pili walbok ko jamar kole ya kadal ngarwana kan school unal pili dal rica nganyena nyena kan pang dal mangin school pang dal wangan school nyena mana nana rakonji awal ngai banyak tarpa nungaro nena tokan yutta planted nungaro kapunyan gogongan manunuri yaka kapugongan nana rakojin banyak tarpa belinya beli manunuri yaka mayam daruk yolngon kaya kamartun bayak ko daruk ko wal ngami daruk ko nanar bijan bian darpa marka kumdananing cakawo ngayewo kacaka dalang aratan langwa lumbalo numalinggo kangana pelinggo almaro caka ngarang kina ko ngayewo malaymo yakalar bo mangayi kalkal ko ngalar yakka ngayi buk magdang ngayi makyulo ngo dal kum ako ya pilihnya malay kalau ya kada kamelkom ya kada kamelkom Mangi mana pemerman mangi yol ongo bilanyan panen singan mana kanya narumi aman bungkol waktun pengen banana permangi ngala parmi yol ongo
It was always the women that had total control of all the children. They're already witness in certain traits.
You can smell.
And if they saw that in one of them boys, they would tell that the elders, keep your eye on this one. He shows promise.
Let's walk back. Go.
That's how the great leaders of all the chiefs of the history here, that's how they were raised. They were watched from the time they were little boys. There was leadership among the women. They were watched in the same way.
Rakam daw danalango analpen ngaci lagan nyinan yolngo ajinang junama rakam damayam onganya elder rede cing ngam klan nga anu mangado bakre ujun ngama kamayang da darok nalpen nga ruangan numalengol Panya ka ngayong upan. Apa ikun nalpen ang almaro. Ikalan na dityon ba na balaya. Pilin ba na ngaci lang. Ngalang nyina. Lajo ko. Ngalipin na di banyam dukam cari yun. Berian nunu kangarong amal duman. Yung ora natural maro kung ganyo na palmi yung ka ngapake mo nga jal maro pilihan biyan first time nunu ngaro nga nunu kanong family ngaya banya feel takay nga mga ya biyan ngaya ngalimit nunu ngalanga barko baman bijan nga ya mga feeling close na everything nunu kanong family I have bijan feel I have the feel nga nunu meet somewhere ngalang but this is first time that I met you here last 2 weeks ago is it 3 weeks ago
Yeah.
We might meet in spirit or somewhere. That's what I'm feeling.
Probably.
Yeah, probably. You are. Welcome meet spirit. Pero yan biyan nunu kalkin nga na pilanguran.
Buku bete.
June 21st. I feel at home here. On the island there is no yesterday, no tomorrow, only today. One thing I'm learning from my Aboriginal family is that time doesn't exist. 2 nights have become 2 weeks. 2 weeks have become 2 months.
In the West, where I grow up, it's all about going to school to gain more knowledge. But somehow I don't see people become wiser.
I've seen it a lot. Na wise, na nyulngo, ubalanda. Patalang ang school nga, learning, mangin, bukari, yan ang bili university. Yan ang linggo taken, you can name them up. About the same. It's here and there. Nothing comes out. Nama ya bela. When you study, you're studying, you're concentrate. Only time you know start to man ma, man you know written by camera. Man you know start to na man yan. Smooth na nga ron, ayak ang unong na maleko, kandar nga. Gungam nung oras na yun, kandar nga, ayak ka. Time nung go. Nung arawangan.
Namana na sebentang ko ri. Diga juga ni diga nagara ni nyampa ba? Ni kira aja sela yo botor. Diga nyana yo kamera nyana yo baba kana ka masa ni liga ba yo ni kunin ko ni liga yo kana dogri na ro miteni ni. Iliki yiok enaa tenelo nelotu engoloto nai naa nji esiamu yiolo ajo meeta oltung'ani lemeeta enkoitoi enye. Imaniki sinye ore oltung'ani leitu isuma nimaniki eeta nai enkoitoi namitie enakop. Nimaniki eeta naas peyie errinyu ina toki najo alotu aya. Neeku naa keeta nena oitoi nidipa aiteng'ena yiok nena baa pookin netutaka yiok nena baa pookin inkoitoi pookin naikununo.
The youth of today has the hardest task of every one of us. It is up to the youth to bring about a change. And it's been said that if they succeeded, they would be the ones that created eternal peace. I think that's what's happening now. Slowly. If it catches on one place, it's going to catch on the other places. People will follow suit.
July 13th. Traveling through Asia, one thought keeps coming back. How is this change Nuwatan talked about going to happen when the majority of the people on this planet are only just embarking on the journey of the American or European dream? Aspiring to prosperity in a similar way our parents and grandparents did. But who are we to tell anyone that that aspiration doesn't lead to happiness? And that the planet can't sustain a lifestyle of mass consumption. What totally amazes me on this journey is how Earthkeepers in other parts of the world speak with the same voice as Nuwatan, and how they all share the same rather optimistic vision about the current state of the world. They all see the hardship and chaos in the world today as a sign that we are on the brink of a huge global transformation, brought about by the common people who start walking their true path and start working together.
ऐसे सभी जन सीख जानता तो फिर वो तो पहली सब्जी की चर्चा ऐसे हो जाती है। हमारे पास नांगर जोतन के पास नहीं है, बल्कि सब ला करो तो सबके पास है। वही सब करें मिल के जुड़ के करना जरूरी है, तब तो हमारे भविष्य में आगे बढ़े। और पिछड़े रहेंगे तो ऐसे तो फिर पीछे तो रहेंगे। नहीं तो धरती माता नहीं रहती, देन से सब जीवन है। माँ दे रहा है, कुछ भी दे रहा है, उसको खान का हो। पहले हमारे बाबा रही से वैद, और बाद में हमारे पिताजी रही से वैद, और बाद में पिताजी के पीछे मैं नहीं पाया हूँ। पिताजी खत्म हो गए तो भी पिताजी मेरा सही है, क्योंकि बता रहे हैं यह झाड़ है, वह ऐसे झाड़ है, वह ये दवाई ऐसे, ये झाड़ की दवाई ऐसा पड़ता है। निकाल सबके लिए मिलते हैं वहाँ जंगल में। जंगल में जो सजीवन बूटी है तो एक जन के लिए नहीं है, सबके जीवन के रक्षा के लिए बने हैं।
We see more and more people who want to take responsibility for their own faith, including their own health. What's the key to living life without major disease?
देखो ना, ऐसे अचानक होता है, रास्ते में काटा गाड़ी, तब वो शरीर में कुछ बीमारी आती है। और सही रास्ते में चल रहे तो बीमारी कुछ नहीं हो। बीमारी सबके शरीर में होता है। डॉक्टर समझावे तो चल रही, वैद्य समझावे चल रही, यार बंदा बीमारी ना हवा द्वार से होता है, गलत रूप चलने से हवा पाता है। कोई शिकायत नहीं तो मैं तो करता हूँ, जो कुछ करता हूँ तो फिर सीखना जरूरी है, तब तो आगे बढ़ पाए। विश्वास तो बड़ी चीज़ है, उसको धरो तो हम सब विश्वास हिंदा सुधार सक।
It's not only knowing the medicines. Best healer or doctor in the world can now totally heal anything without your help. The patients furnish half through your own faith of believing.
डरना नहीं चाहिए। सबसे अपन हृदय ला, कहीं मत बांटो, खोल के जाओ, दरवाजा खुला, हाथ में हाथ सबके सामने खाते रहिए। अब यहाँ मैं गोटिया था, वहाँ जाके फिर का करो, पैदल चलो तो देखो कितना चांटी फांफा कीड़ा काठा खून है, ओकरो भी तो उतना ही बड़े जीव है, हमरो भी उतने जीव है। भली माटी बड़े बड़े है तो क्या हो, हमारे से तो बड़े हैं हाथी, जानवर भी है, मगर छोटा सी चाटी डरा था, फूकत रिंग थे।
We're all the same, basically. Whether we plants or animals or what. It seems like there's a kinship there when you look at things in a certain way. Well, the difference is, we look different. Some fly, some crawl. But we can never say that we're the only ones that we should be concerned about. That's why life is really simple. When it comes right down to it, life is simple. But we make it complicated ourselves with our thought patterns and what other people has put in place that controls all other people. That changes individuals and how they think once that is done. It is not free-thinking people anymore. We're all under control of someone, or we find ourselves in trouble.
Niya po atinyo, dengan intimi niya, lokap nunaka, sungguh naka angkat mami niya. Turat, nuna lokap gusto mamukunin niya apachka. Lokap, kahay min niya. Nuna nintimak, ni pasi nintimak. Nuna ni nuimer tino lokap nintimak, yang langga mas tak katuruk warina hanga inda nuna lokap nintimin niya apachka. Tani kaya ako nakaturo sa kinta hay ng puyawalang masaya mawarasar postin yun nuna ninti me puhusar nuna turun karit mam nuhay worko ha enyo nuna aran ri warin chu han ka posta tir ke I ke nin timber ke puchu I I ke anso I nung ke ma wain ka tin la chuarte ke I ke ngam ka yuatin ahat ka postin nuyang ka I ngam ka postin nuyang ka I makenge inchi I ke ma I nung ke niang shiram yuwa usar waring me yumate waring me ma yumite I ke kem numeti ke
I couldn't sleep last night. Everything is awake, also my mind. I am in awe of the abundance and total harmony of the forest, the beauty, but also the ugliness that goes on, the destruction of it all. But I'm just passing through, observing. Have I become the tourist? I wonder what it feels like to be truly part of it all, like the ashwar.
De drago y podemos poner en la parte cortada. Esto nos ayuda a cicatrizar rápido.
Our little ones are called tamarind monkeys, okay? Little ones who speak. I saw this little black thing. I saw a little black thing jumping down. Yeah. Yeah. And I didn't see anything.
The kids love the rainforest. Today they caught me off guard, asking me about its destruction. Dad, did you know that we lose 80,000 acres per day, an area the size of England? And that we lose more than 50,000 plant and animal species each year as well? Why, Dad? Why don't people get it? Why are people spoiling it for us? Can't anyone stop this? How can I possibly answer these questions without being a hypocrite?
Pungir pusar nesha yuptairi nesh mungak charu arat ikema moka chua arat kanda nesha nikasa chuar shama nikasa manisha viver sampai lepas nesha ni unsuri saram be kechka au hanyam nesha ni yam kartamori hingga nesha gaya wapi nesha ni nuna kama nisha ma mas iwiako nispungis ma I artam ko kamo asar isha ma Vina paru kalmar ini vina hits no. Nahat mo away mariak mo le. Koptam ko. Nuna ninti nuna ma ni nahat mo yakinya mapukaw pari mariak mo sulamsaro au ninti he. No hai no na hai ni wakani na tum nam bekar no nin tim dam kaning ki ai hu ma mashu hu ma chanigar pu khai na ain sare kwai nai ten te na tum nam bek maka mashi no kuri hakko amate se no kuri no kur hakama pe no shaturuk awa ai hu ma mashu hu ma Chanigar po kahina ain sa require na itente na tunang maka mashi ka Amani sharon muna tuma murta to ermi ninti emergestin aka huni puhayato mashi majahahim setat.
Taking part in the ceremony was one of the most powerful experiences of my life. I deeply felt homecoming, a deep feeling recognizing where I came from. I see how the plant is like a portal to a whole different dimension, connecting me with my subconscious mind.
The only gift given to human beings was the power to have dreams and visions. I remember when I was on that hill fasting, it came to me that faith is the most important thing above all other things. And without that, we have nothing. It's the greatest force that can be had. And from that, I envisioned a man living way out in the woods somewhere. That man never went anywhere. But he had all the answers that I needed. And I think there is a person such as that. Again, that's faith. That there is someone like that out there. The whole thing, what I'm saying, we can create a faith on our own without going to any book. There's nothing that we cannot do with that ability. It's a natural ability that we all have.
Baño, Ignacia Alpaman Tokupungo, pero Calpan, Oyan, Nugasmas Arranis, Nuganis, Rikunanis, hasta la final, hasta la tempomanta, Paignaka, Mama Pacha, Fukuricuspa, Kukamama, Fukuricuspa, Kinier, Romiconat, Ujar Rango, Apukunamanda, Yana Pareway. Intitaita yana pare mama pachi kalpata koy. Lapan kalpaman ki romikunata tangar kanku ki albakon tehrarikur kan romikuna kuyrir kan. Hatun kalpakachu mo kay hatun kalpakachu. Hatun energía ta suma hatun yana pay ni koy. Kopatagon de stago. Wakin ya mijo vishnikus pero mana chita coroneta no cansa coronakus pero mana lapan srona masen coroneta at suman bonich. Sapans kunang makina ta nukans purnisman ta imaiman makina kuno truarkus chelewan tangas nyaipak. Pero nukans opachan man alinta julian kapunis.
Today, as I was standing in front of these immense stones, seeing the seamless way they've been put together, it made me wonder, how were the Incas able to do this thousands of years ago? Something that seems impossible to us today. The further we are getting into our journey, the more I begin to understand what Nuwatan meant when he talked about the limitless possibilities of human potential. Could it be that those who are truly connected to the natural world and tuned into the different levels of energy are capable of working with the force of nature rather than against it?
Staying there, kusuma difícil con junto, chulia sonco, chulia calpi, chulia yuya. Sumachta viña suma.
I've been to places that were just as real as I am sitting here. By traveling in spirit. Kind of makes me think sometimes, knowing about that gift. I can leave at any time. Which could be with what happened with great nations, that they were highly spiritual people. Not like us. We are common. Our spirit would probably have a blue light, where the highly spiritual ones are totally white. This is what I have learned. This is all the road there is when you realize that you are not satisfied the way things are, that you start being a seeker. Not somebody else's truth, but your own. What is it people are talking about when they talk about star people? What's that sky world like around all the other planets known to man? What is there? It cannot be all blue sky the way we see it.
Kapunga, kajin lang ngayon nga. Nabili niya mabili nga lingkungan na. Karo mabili niya bili bjandang ngay. Paya kuya daya na wanyon nabili niya wanyon maraming wanyon. Bili banyak ngayon kahapirin biro spirit ko ka ngayon.
Ata baca ating kamu. Ka aku sih kain tua aksige
kana ka kweku ekora chingu ya to ai tamachan kama kokoni a tamacha o akinsi Tisa kam kudukan kudunga tisa ta o te kudung ka to ka ke he me kudu ka o ka ta kama kansi kora te o ka kama na kora te o ka ka chiesi
October 7th. Driving through the Kalahari Desert feels like approaching the cradle of humanity. We are on our way to the oldest living tribe on the planet, the San, or Bushmen. Even though medicine people around the world use different medicines and have different ceremonies, I've come to see that underneath they are all doing the same thing. They tap into the same source, using their connection with spirit. To understand this connection better, we have come to see the San, because in this barren land where nothing grows, they have nothing else to rely on than their direct connection to spirit.
ya ko ra ko tau ka tau kuruma ka e chau nga ka me khabe o ka a kau ka khabe se we che ka we che ga ma me ka e chau nga ka me a kwara ka e chau nga ka me khabe a chamo ka khabe kwaram ka nga ko chisa a ko kare ka nga ka ku ka she wa tai an nga cha ka ka me ka ma si ka de.
A child in the village has fallen ill, and the medicine men are preparing a healing that will take place tonight. To the San, illness and therefore healing goes beyond the individual. It involves the whole community, including the ancestors. What we are about to witness is probably one of the oldest forms of healing in the world.
Kaga tsa ho chi sa du han ta kri tsa ho chi sa du ka khwen ngate tsa ko ka te o jwa a gwa ko pe te khwen ha o ka
Ai kai de thuk un akwa sa au ten aka kan ana aka ji anowa jin dang dai kan do ka hai te do sar ako ai kai Kaka aku kutuka o ka aku chaku tama chaku ko ya kang aku sikana ka kan to si ko du ko ya na ka sikan u ako ka.
do can what's a guy can amakunga or going to it's a chunk. Challenge it's a gossip. Custom stem according to the Kanka ang could get ang duka corridor worship we are because you shall not ask for Kaiti. Don't say catching catcher say oh it's a duka kai it's a to try you. Can I see Queen on 7 I can't take it's a chop, guys, it's a coach and it's a chunk of Gukakui. I could go kissing communicator. You kind taka. Kagasa go nothing to that. The Katavichu, with the gas to go to die, or you have Kakocha, Kaitaka, I can't have Uncle Areva with that secret Kaitaka Okra. Kan aku yang tu kangen dosa tu pun menjadi aku tu kan satu aku kan si kan aku lah.
In order to be a complete medicine person, there has to be a spiritual side to it, or it's incomplete. There's no healing without that.
I now see that healing goes way beyond curing a physical ailment. But if healing takes place on the level of spirit, and if it's our spirit that gets healed, does that mean that the impact of that healing goes beyond our life? Beyond our death?
Healing is removing an energy from events in the past, collective past, that's causing that person separation from their essence. When I heal myself, I heal the world. And when I know myself, I know the world. Because everyone is part of everyone else. If someone's ill here, it affects someone here. Everything affects everything. We're not separate, really, when we go to the energy of all beings.
The love that goes with that. There's a love that goes with being human and caring about other people. We don't have to express that worldwide. We only have to feel that. For that to go out with no thought of prayer even. But to have that thought in your mind of caring about others, that's enough. That's our potential, to help others without ever knowing them, who they are. That is what has to be brought out among human beings. I sometimes think that my thoughts are yours, and your thoughts are mine. Without us ever knowing one another. It comes down to human nature, of how we all feel, regardless of color, male or female. That we are one. That's when you see a great beauty and understanding, when you can come to those terms of seeing it like that. It makes you want to look forward to another cycle.
We're part of everything. I mean, is the wave the sea? Is the sea the wave? Was to remember when you're a grain of sand. We are the four elements. And in some rites of passage, people said, dust you are and dust you will return. The rite of passage of death is beautiful, because in that space, once you've gone into a spirit journey, you're not in the emotion, you're not attached. This is timelessness.
I learned that when I learned that I died. Well, I felt my heart kind of like it squeezed like this, and it hurt. I saw something like a giant tube. It came down all around me, underneath me. I went up. As I was going up, that's when my heart felt like it hurt 3 times. It really hurt. And I was taken to a place that looked like this silvery white. That's the way that whole place looked like where I was, where they took me. And in a way, I'm kind of anxious to take an extra step into another world, which is on the other side. I'm not scared of death. I have no fear of it. There's a reason for that.
when Noatan was here, when he was here in this world, I really, really liked it. I really liked us living together in this world. But I also really like that I know he's over there watching out for all of us. That there's no end. There's not an end to our pastaways being. They're with us. You know, it's just a different life. The connection that we have is like that. We still continue to work together in a spiritual way. It's not mystical, folks. It's not mystical. It's if you stand in the woods and you feel and hear the wind, that's communication. You know, if you walk on the moss, that really almost iridescent moss that's in the wetlands outside, and you feel that it's almost carrying you instead of you walking, that's communication.
You need to trust your own self and trust you're not alone. And that there's a higher consciousness that's not dictated by any desires and no memory. It'll always guide you. Some people call it ancestors. Some people call it the angels. Whatever, it's within you.
Shortly after we returned from the journey, I lost 4 loved ones. Being confronted with death proved to be one of the biggest teachings. I have realized that if I can accept death, only then I can accept everything that comes with life. Death no longer carries the same weight. To me, death is more like the goodbyes on our journey. Not able to see these people any longer, but knowing they are still there, knowing I can still reach them.
Our hearts have the truth. When we see each other, we see the heart of one another. You know, that's a living in a prayerful way. You know, there's a physical form, but you know, we look at the heart, and wow, there's some amazing, amazing people in this world. And you want people to know themselves. That's the deal. And to be able to connect with their own hearts. I mean, it's their own spirit. How we live every day is a ceremony.
Our journey of the past 5 years has given me a rock-steady faith in the workings of life. I feel part of an ever larger family and a true sense of belonging. No longer do I worry for the future of my children, because we have all the answers. If only we dare to ask ourselves the right questions. I know that if I stay connected, I have access to an infinite source of wisdom and guidance. In the end, we are all keepers of the earth.